Shalom, Mishpacha, Havarim, and all who join us here to partake in sharing his word. Today we'll read from chapters 17 through 20 from the book of Yobelim, Harbour willing. This covers a list of Avraham's trials of experience and how he coped, and how he was Yahweh's friend, and the commands and instructions Avraham left on how to walk in right ruling and righteousness on the earth. But before we start, let's bow our hearts and pitch this tent with Yahweh Elohim. Most beloved Abba Yahweh, we come before you, Father, to worship you most humbly, to praise you and to glorify you, and to exalt you and lift your name up as revealed to us in all esteem and faith. We thank you for bringing us together in fellowship with the word. Please empty us out and fill us full of your Ruach HaKodesh. Open up our eyes to see, our ears to hear, and our hearts to understand with more of your truth and clarity than ever before. Help us with discerning the truth, that we do not trip on the deceptions that man is making through time. You are our teacher, our provider, our hope and expectation. Guide us as we learn. Keep our lights shining bright and our oil skins full as we walk through this lonely dark place holding your Kodesh hand. Through Yeshua in Yahweh we pray. Yahweh, our Kodesh, dedicated Elohim. Yahweh Echad. He is one. Amen. So I've left up the glossary and the pronunciation guide for your reference. So let's get comfortable and let's read chapter 17. And in the first year of the 5th week, Yitzchak was weaned in this Yovel, and Avraham made a great feast in the 3rd month, on the day his son Yitzchak was weaned. And Yishmael, the son of Hagar, the Mitzrite, was before the face of Avraham his father in his place. And Avraham rejoiced and barak Elohim, because he had seen his sons and had not died childless. And he remembered the words which he had spoken to him on the day on which Lot had parted from him. And he rejoiced because Yahweh had given him seed upon the earth to inherit the earth, and he barak with all his mouth the Creator of all matters. And Sarah saw Yishmael playing and dancing, and Avraham rejoicing with great joy, and she became jealous of Yishmael, and said to Avram, "Drive out this female servant and her son, for the son of this female servant shall not be heir with my son Yitzchak." And the matter was evil in Avraham's sight, because of his female servant and because of his son, that he should drive them from him. And Elohim said to Avraham, "Let it not be evil in your sight, because of the child and because of the female servant. In all that Sarah has said to you, listen to her words and act. For in Yitzchak shall your name and seed be called. But as for the son of this female servant, I shall make him a great nation, because he is of your seed." And Avraham rose up early in the morning, and took bread and a flask of water, and placed them on the shoulders of Hagar and the child, and sent her away. And she departed and wandered in the wilderness of Beersheba. And the water in the flask was used up, and the child was thirsty, and was not able to go on, and fell down. And his mother took him, and placed him under an olive tree, and went and sat opposite him at the distance of a bow shot. For she said, "Let me not see the death of my child." And as she sat, she wept. And a messenger of Elohim, one of the Kodashim, said to her, "Why do you weep, Hagar?" Arise, take the child, and hold him in your hand, for Elohim has heard your voice, and has seen the child. And she opened her eyes, and she saw a well of water, and she went and filled her flask with water, and she gave her child to drink. And she arose and went towards the wilderness of Paran. And the child grew and became an archer, and Elohim was with him. And his mother brought him a wife from among the daughters of Mitzrayim, Egypt. And she bore him a son, and he called his name Nevayoth. For she said, Yahweh was near to me when I called upon him. And it came to be in the 7th week, in the 1st year, in the 1st month of this Yovel, on the 12th of this month, there were voices in the Shamayim regarding Avraham, that he was trustworthy in all that he told him, and that he loved Yahweh, and that in every affliction he was trustworthy. And the prince Mastema came and said before Elohim, See, Avraham loves Yitzchak his son, and he delights in him above all other matters. Command him to offer him as a burnt offering on the altar, and you shall see if he shall do this command. And you shall know if he is trustworthy in all in which you try him. And Yahweh knew that Avraham was trustworthy in all his afflictions, for he had tried him through his land, and with scarcity of food, and had tried him with the wealth of sovereigns, and had tried him again through his wife, when she was taken, and with circumcision, and had tried him through Yishmael, and Hagar, his female servant, when he sent them away. And in all in which he had tried him, he was found trustworthy, and his being was not impatient, and he was not slow to act, for he was trustworthy and loved Yahweh. Chapter 18. And Elohim said to him, Avraham, Avraham. And he said, See, here I am. And he said, Take your beloved son Yitzchak, whom you love, and go to the high country, and offer him on one of the mountains which I shall point out to you. And he rose early in the morning, and saddled his donkey, and took his 2 young men with him, and Yitzchak his son, and cut the wood for the burnt offering. And he went to the place on the 3rd day, and he saw the place far off. And he came to a well of water, and he said to his young men, You stay here with the donkey, and I and the lad shall go on, and when we have worshipped, we shall come again to you. And he took the wood for the burnt offering, and laid it on Yitzchak his son, and he took in his hand the fire and the knife, and they went both of them together to that place. And Yitzchak said to his father, Father. And he said, Here I am, my son. And he said to him, See, the fire and the knife and the wood, but where is the sheep for the burnt offering, father? And he said, Elohim shall provide a sheep for a burnt offering, my son. And he drew near to the place of the mountain of Elohim, and he built an altar, and he placed the wood on the altar, and bound Yitzchak his son, and placed him on the wood which was upon the altar, and stretched out his hand to take the knife, to slay Yitzchak his son. And I stood before him, and before the prince of Mastema. And Yahweh said, Command him not to lay his hand on the lad, nor to do any matter to him, for I have shown that he reveres Yahweh. And I called to him from the Shamayim, and said to him, Avraham, Avraham. And he was afraid, and said, See, here I am. And I said to him, Do not lay your hand on the lad, neither do any matter to him. For now I have shown that you revere Yahweh, and have not withheld your son, your firstborn son, from me. And the prince of Mesdema was put to shame, and Abraham lifted up his eyes and looked, and see, a single ram caught by its horns. And Abraham went and took the ram, and offered it as a burnt offering instead of his son. And Abraham called that place Yahweh Yireh, so that it is said, Yahweh provides, that is, Mount Sion. And Yahweh called Abraham by his name a second time from the Shamayim, as he caused us to appear to speak to him in the name of Yahweh. And he said, By myself I have sworn, says Yahweh, because you have done this matter, and have not withheld your son, your beloved son, from me, that in Berachah I shall barach you, and in multiplying I shall multiply your seed as the stars of the Shamayim, and as the sand which is on the seashore, and your seed shall inherit the cities of its enemies. And in your seed all nations of the earth shall be Baruch, because you have obeyed my voice. And I have shown to all that you are trustworthy to me in all that I have said to you. Go in peace. And Abraham went to his young men, and they arose and went together to Be'er-sheva. And Abraham dwelt by Be'er-sheva. And he celebrated this festival every year, 7 days with joy, and he called it the festival of Yahweh, according to the 7 days during which he went and returned in peace. And accordingly it has been ordained and written on the tablets of the Shamayim regarding Yisrael and its seed, that they should observe this festival 7 days with the joy of a festival. Chapter 19. And in the first year of the first week, in the 42nd Yovel, Abraham returned and dwelt opposite Hebron, that is, Kirjath Arba, 14 years. And in the first year of the third week of this Yovel, the days of the life of Sarah were accomplished, and she died in Hebron. And Abraham went to mourn over her and bury her. And we tried him if his spirit was patient, and he was not bitter in the words of his mouth. And he was found patient in this, and was not disturbed. For in patience of spirit he spoke with the children of Heth, to the intent that they should give him a place in which to bury his dead. And Yahweh gave him favour before all who saw him, and he pleaded with the sons of Heth, and they gave him the land of the cave of Machpelah, opposite Mamre, that is Hebron, for 400 pieces of silver. And they pleaded with him, saying, We shall give it to you for naught. But he would not take it from their hands for naught. And he gave the price of the place, and the silver in full, and he bowed down before them twice. And after this he buried his dead in the cave of Machpelah. And all the days of the life of Sarah were 127 years, that is, 2 Yobelim, and 4 weeks, and 1 year. These are the days of the years of the life of Sarah. This is the 10th trial with which Abraham was tried, and he was found trustworthy, patient in spirit, and he did not speak not a single word regarding the report in the land, how that Elohim had said that he would give it to him and to his seed after him. And he pleaded a place there to bury his dead, for he was found trustworthy and was recorded on the tablets of the Shamayim as the friend of Elohim. And in the 4th year he took a wife for his son Yitzchak, and her name was Rivkah, the sister of Lavan, and the daughter of Bethuel. And Bethuel was the son of Milcah, who was the wife of Nahor, the brother of Abraham. And Abraham took a 3rd wife, and her name was Keturah, from among the daughters of his household servants, for Hagar had died before Sarah. And she bore him 6 sons, Zimran, and Yokshan, and Medan, and Midian, and Yishbach, and Shuah, in the 2 weeks of years. And in the 6th week of the 2nd year, Ribkah bore to Yitzchak 2 sons, Yaakov and Esau. And Yaakov was smooth-skinned and an upright man, and Esau was fierce, a man of the field and hairy, and Yaakov dwelt in tents. And the youths grew, and Yaakov learned to write, but Esau did not learn, for he was a man of the field and a hunter, and he learned battle, and all his deeds were mighty. And Abraham loved Yaakov, but Yitzchak loved Esau, and Abraham saw the deeds of Esau, and he knew that in Yaakov his name and seed should be called. And he called Rivkah, and gave command regarding Yaakov, for he knew that she loved Yaakov much more than Esau. And he said to her, My daughter, watch over my son Yaakov, for he shall be in my place on the earth, and for a berakah in the midst of the children of men, and for the esteem of the whole seed of Shem. And I know that Yahweh shall choose him to be a people for possession unto himself, above all peoples that are on the face of the earth. And see, Yitzchak my son loves Esau more than Yaakov, but I see that you truly love Yaakov. Add still further to your kindness to him, and let your eyes be upon him in love, for he shall be a berakah to us on the earth, from this time to all generations of the earth. Let your hand be strong, and let your heart rejoice in your son Yaakov, for I have loved him far beyond all my sons. He shall be Baruch forever, and his seed shall fill the whole earth. If a man could number the sand of the earth, his seed shall also be numbered. And all the berachoth with which Yahweh has barach my seed and I shall belong to Yaakov and his seed always. And in his seed shall my name be Baruch, and the name of my fathers Shem and Noah and Hanok and Mahalalel and Enosh and Shet and Adam. And these shall serve to lay the foundations of the Shamayim, and to strengthen the earth, and to renew all the luminaries which are in the expanse. And he called Yaakov before the eyes of Ribkah his mother, and kissed him, and barak him, and said, Yaakov, my beloved son, whom my being loves, may Elohim barak you from above the expanse, and may he give you all the berachoth with which he barach Adam and Hanok and Noah and Shem, and all the words of which he told me, and all the matters which he promised to give me. May he cause to cling to you and to your seed forever, according to the days of the Shamayim above the earth, and the spirits of Mastemah shall not rule over you or over your seed to turn you from Yahweh, who is your Elohim, from this time and forever. Well, that's interesting. And may Yahweh Elohim be a father to you, the firstborn son, and to the people always. Go in peace, my son. And they both went out together from Avraham, and Ribkah loved Yaakov with all her heart and with all her being, very much more than Esau, but Yitzchak loved Esau much more than Yaakov. Chapter 20. And in the 42nd Yovel, in the first year of the 7th week, Avraham called Yishmael and his 12 sons, and Yitzchak and his 2 sons, and the 6 sons of Keturah and their sons. And he commanded them that they should observe the way of Yahweh, that they should work righteousness, and each love his neighbour, and act in this manner among all men, that they should each so walk with regard to them, as to do right ruling and righteousness on the earth, that they should circumcise their sons according to the covenant which he had made with them, and not deviate to the right hand or to the left of all the paths which Yahweh had commanded us, and that we should guard ourselves from all whoring and uncleanness. And if any woman or female servant commit whoring among you, burn her with fire, and let them not commit whoring with her after their eyes and their heart. And let them not take to themselves wives from the daughters of Canaan, for the seed of Canaan shall be rooted out of the land. And he told them of the judgment of the Rephaites and the judgment of the Sedomites, how they had been judged on account of their wickedness, and had died on account of their whoring and uncleanness, and each one's corruption through whoring. And guard yourselves from all whoring and uncleanness, and from all pollution of sin, lest you make our name a curse, and your whole life a hissing, and all your sons be destroyed by the sword, and you become accursed like Sodom, and all your remnant of the sons of Amorah. I implore you, my sons, love the Elohim of the Shamayim, and you cling to all his commandments, and do not walk after their idols and after their uncleannesses, and do not make for yourselves moulded or carved mighty ones, for they are worthless, and there is no spirit in them, for they are work of hands, and all who trust in them trust in naught. Do not serve them, nor worship them, but you serve the Most High El, and worship him continually, and trust in his face always, and work uprightness and righteousness before him, that he may have pleasure in you, and grant you his kindness, and send rain upon you morning and evening, and barak all your works which you have wrought upon the earth, and barak your bread and your water, and barak the fruit of your womb, and the fruit of your land, and the herds of your cattle, and the flocks of your sheep. And you shall be for a berakah on the earth, and all nations of the earth shall desire you, and barak your sons in my name, that they may be Baruch as I am, blessed as I am. And he gave to Yishmael and to his sons and to the sons of Keturah gifts, and sent them away from Yitzchak his son. And he gave all to Yitzchak his son, and Yishmael and his sons, and the sons of Keturah and their sons went together and dwelt from Paran to the entering in of Babylon in all the land which is toward the east facing the desert. And these intermixed with each other, and their name was called Arabs and Ishmaelites. End of chapter 20. I think I'm learning more about who's who in the Middle East and their natures of conduct on the world stage. There's nothing new under the sun. It's funny, isn't it? Thank you, Abba, for bringing us together, for opening our eyes, our ears and our hearts to you. As children, we come fresh and new to understand that which you're telling us through the word. Without you, we would be so very lost, Father. Thank you for marking us, for calling us out, for bringing us together, for guiding us, and for giving us purpose in this life. I've just realised, Father, that we're called out to arise for the salvation of others. And this is what everything we're learning is really about. I'm just learning this now. Your direction is never without purpose. Everything seems to lead to you, Father. Please have us grow in your word every day and guide us to share with everyone that will listen. Please bring to us people that want to hear, Father. Thank you for all you are, even if we don't know what that really is. Without you, none of this creation would be. We come humbled before you in so many ways, Father. There is peace in expansion only when you do it. We know nothing compared to your immense awesomeness. Have your kingdom come, Father, and your will be done here on earth as it is in the Shamayim. And through Yeshua in Yahweh, I pray, we pray, Yahweh, our Kodesh and Ahad, dedicated and one, Elohim. Amen. Okay, thank you for coming to sharing the word. There's an update pictures here, just to show you what's going on in the garden with everything's growing in this amazing, glorious weather. Many berachoth, many blessings, and I pray that you all stay safe and that you have everything you need to be whole and complete. Shalom, and much ahav, much love. Stay in the word, and Yirei Yahweh.
Peace, bone, peace, bone, peace, bone.